Hello to all Polylingoo learners and subscribers. How are you today? Here we are with another conversational video and we've prepared something amazing, okay, for you. Let's start. Today we're going to talk about nationality. So, you want to ask someone's nationality, where the guy, for example, come from. You simply say, for example, sir, where do you come from, or where are you from? And you ought to be careful when to use do or when to use to be. Where are you from, or where do you come from? You can say, where are you, do you come from? No, it doesn't exist in English. Asking about someone's nationality, whenever you hear the word nationality, just remember the countries, okay? For example, simply say, I come from, Iran, Brazil, Germany, United States of America, and so on. Depends on your nationality. Asking about nationality, where are you from? What's your nationality? Are you German, Iranian, Brazilian, American, and which country are you from, or where do you come from? All of them are correct, yeah. So one more time, where are you from? What's your nationality? Are you, the adjective of that country, that nation, German, Italian, Brazilian, Chinese, Japanese, and which country are you from? So, answering, like me, for example, I say, I'm Iranian, I'm German, I'm from Iran, I come from Germany. The good thing about English is that the genders do not exist here, okay? Like, Latin-based, let's say, languages, Portuguese, Spanish, Italian, French, Romanian, and let's say, other languages like Russian, Turkish. English is very easy because we don't have the genders for, let's say, she and he. I mean, feminine and masculine. Simply, we just use one adjective. But in other languages, like, for example, those languages I mentioned, we have masculine and, let's say, feminine. We've got to be careful about their sexes. And, for example, in Italian, I'm sure, for example, because I'm a hyper polyglot and I know a lot of languages. I know, for example, say in Italian, iraniano, iraniana, italiano, italiana, okay? Or they say, for example, in other languages as well. But in English, that story doesn't happen, and simply they say, okay, I'm Iranian, I'm German, I'm Italian. Whether you are a man, whether you are a woman. And even if the case is plural, where are you from, group of people, they say, we are Iranian, we are Brazilian, we are German. But in other languages, again, they have special cases for plurality. Most natural, everything answer. I'm from Iran, I'm from Germany, I'm from, for example, Italy. A slightly more detailed. Now we add more information. I was born in Iran. I was born in, for example, Germany. I was born in Italy. I grew up, When you grow up somewhere, means from your childhood up to, somehow your adulthood, you live in a special country, in one country, and you see the process. For example, say I grew up in, I live in Berlin now. For example, I was born in Iran, but I live in the UK now. I moved here 5 years ago. When you move, you go to a new place. I'm originally from Iran. For example, I say I live in England, but I'm originally from Iran. Okay, someone says I live in Japan, but I'm originally from UK or US. Okay, if you're not in your own, let's say homeland, okay, or motherland, you can use these ones. Example, I'm originally from Iran, but I live in Germany now. Dual or complex nationality, when nationality is not simple. I have dual citizenship, means you've got the citizenship of two countries or two places. I'm both Iranian and, for example, British, or I say, for example, I'm both Iranian and German. I hold the German passport, okay? I'm a naturalized citizen. It means I wasn't born here, I didn't grow up here, but I'm a naturalized citizen. I've lived here long enough to be considered a German, for example, citizen, American citizen. I wasn't born here, okay, but I've lived here most of my life. Now, these are the expressions you can, for example, use if you're not living in your homeland or let's say your own country, your birthplace. I have a dual citizenship, Iranian and German, for example. Cultural identity versus nationality. Nationality and identity are not always the same. I identify as Iranian. I'm culturally Iranian. I have multicultural background. For example, I say I'm Iranian. I come from Iran. I identify as Iranian. I'm culturally Iranian, but I live now in the UK. Okay, I have a multicultural background. I feel more German than Iranian. You know, when you live somewhere long enough, even more than your own, for example, birthplace, you can say, I feel more British, German, Italian than your original, for example, nationality. Okay, I feel caught between two cultures. You know, you've got a sense of belonging to both countries. You can say that, for example, I feel caught between two cultures, Iranian and British, Iranian German, Iranian Italian, Iranian American, and other nations as well. My roots are in Iran, for example. If you say my roots, imagine the tree, okay, the roots, okay, we never see the roots because they're down there under the ground. You say, I was raised here, I was born and raised here, but my roots are in Iran, means my ancestors, my great grandparents, my grandparents, my parents are back there. My roots are there. Depends on your, of course, nationality. If you're born, raised, if you're born and raised only in one country, you don't need, okay, most of these expressions. They're somehow about identifying your nationality, especially talking about that duality, okay, or going to different places or being raised in different places. Legally, I'm German, but culturally, I'm Iranian, okay, the other example. So, point 5 is about advanced and reflective. Now we talk about belonging and identity. Nationality doesn't fully define who I am. You know, sometimes, unfortunately, because of racism, some people do not like specific, let's say, countries and the people of those countries, and you have to, you know, talk more about it, and that's too bad. Always we have to say no to racism. Nationality doesn't fully define who I am. When Asian people come, for example, to Europe or some modern countries, unfortunately, sometimes, okay, they're faced with racism, and they have to define more. Nationality doesn't, let's say, fully define who I am. Means, okay, I'm an Asian, but I was born here. I have a sense of belonging to your country. Yeah? I have a strong sense of national identity. I take pride in my heritage. You want to defend your own, for example, origin. I take pride in my heritage, means I'm really proud of them, and let's say the people, the country. Yeah. I'm deeply connected to my homeland. Okay, like me, for example, I always say I'm deeply connected to my homeland, my people. Okay, living abroad has reshaped my sense of nationality. Sometimes, you know, people, you know, it happens. You know, when we talk about migration on migration video, I'm gonna talk about it a lot, and you're gonna learn a lot of beautiful words. You go, for example, to a country. Some people cut any ties with their previous homeland, but some people reshape the sense of nationality. They're away, but still they follow the news. They feel for their own people, and yeah, they reshape that sense. I consider myself a global citizen. Wherever I go, I have a sense of belonging and respect, and this is the best one. This part was very beautiful. Nationality doesn't define who you are. You have a strong sense of national identity. It means you are a patriot, okay? You see this word a lot, especially in gaming. Yeah. Yeah. We write patriot, but we say patriot, okay? Patriotism, patriot, okay? You take pride in your own nationality. I take pride in my nationality, heritage. You're connected to your homeland, okay? And you consider yourself, for example, national citizen. Expressions and idioms. My roots are in means your origin and background. My roots are in Iran. Born and raised, grow up. I was born and raised in the London, a citizen of the world. No limited to one nationality means wherever you go, you have a sense of belonging and respect. Far from home, okay? For example, I can say I'm living far from home, okay? I'm living abroad and not in my own homeland or country. I say I'm far from home, okay? A sense of belonging, as I explained earlier. If you have a sense of belonging, okay, you feel connected to that country. Moving abroad changed my sense of belonging, or couldn't change. Homeland, your native country, it's a very emotional word. Or you can say, for example, birthplace. I miss my homeland. I can say, for example, here, I feel nostalgic. I feel nostalgic. If you feel nostalgic, you've got nostalgia, homesickness, okay? You miss your own country. Expat or expatriate, okay? If you're an expat or expatriate, it's an advanced word, means you're living outside your own country. Example, I've been an expat for 6 years. Second home. If a country or a place is your second home, means it's your somehow second country, okay? A country you feel comfortable. Germany feels like my second home now. Academic and high-level language, okay, using only essays and intellectual discussions. National identity is socially constructed. Nationality can be fluid rather than fixed. I navigate multiple cultural identities. My nationality is a legal status, not my entire identity or identity. Globalization has blurred the national boundaries. I have transnational identity. So let's get down to the meaning. National identity is socially constructed, means depends on your society and the things you do. Nationality can be fluid, moving rather than fixed. Especially if you've got a mission, your job is somehow like going on different missions. You have to live in different countries for several years. I navigate multiple cultural identities, means I've lived in different places. My nationality is a legal status, not my entire identity. You can talk about it more, your homeland. Globalization has blurred national boundaries, means there's no more national boundaries. The whole world is your, let's say, homeland. I have transnational identity, means several different. In today's globalized world, nationality is more complex than ever. So, example answers at different levels. A1, I'm Iranian. A2, it's a review, good review. I'm from Iran, but I live in Germany. I was B1, I was born in Iran, but I moved to Germany, for example, 5 years ago. B2, I have dual citizenship. I feel connected to both cultures, and it's getting harder and harder. C1, although I was born in Iran, living abroad has shaped my worldview, and now I see myself as having multicultural identity. So, cultural notes. Where are you from? In normal, casual conversation, asking what's your nationality sound more formal. In some contexts, nationality can be sensitive, so tone matters. Be careful, yeah. When you're asking someone's nationality as well, like those videos we had about the age and name, different situations, different structures. Don't forget to download the PDFs from the polylingoo.com and use them as well. You can take notes, underline the words, or jot them down and search them in a good dictionary and learn more. Read more examples, watch more, listen more. You'll get better. Goodbye.